Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly gleaming, and the rockets at glow, the bombs bursting in, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. I am Bill Starling, president of the college, and I have the distinct honor of welcoming you to Sampson Community College's 58th commencement exercise for students graduating with diplomas and degrees from the Associate of Applied Science programs here at Sampson Community College. Let's see, can you hear me any better now? I'm going to attempt to project my voice. I hope others can do the same while we're sorting this out. On behalf of the college, let me extend my heartfelt congratulations to each of you and to those who are sitting behind you that share in your accomplishment that you're being recognized here for tonight. And we certainly understand, because we have all moved through life, that in many instances you would not be sitting here if it were not for those people that are sitting behind you. So we share in congratulations to you, and we share in an affirmation of congratulations to all of those who have loved you and supported you and affirmed your journey. I would like to recognize our trustees that are here tonight to help celebrate with you, and I would ask if they stand for recognition. Dr. Ted Thomas is the board chair. Ms. Lorinda Haight is the vice chair. Trustee Sandra Carroll, Trustee Catherine Azell Joyner, Trustee Chris Fan, Trustee Herb Sanderson, Trustee Anthony Sessoms, Trustee Chuck Spell, and Trustee Mike Warren. Now, it is the role of the trustees, and it's an important role, to nurture the community college, to nurture the faculty and staff, and to give guidance to us as we move the institution forward. If it were not for their support, the progress that you have seen at the community college over the last several years simply would not have occurred. And that's not only just progress in facilities, but it's progress in programs and services, and it's progress in the faculty and staff that we have that support our students. In a few minutes, Mrs. Hare will introduce your speaker for tonight. So this is a point of personal privilege for me. I'm not going to take away from her remarks in that introduction, but I want to express my personal thanks for Dr. Bob Shackelford for being with us and sharing his comments tonight. Bob has been a welcoming friend to me as an old fellow who became a young president. It was particularly important that I be mentored along with others. So Bob, my thanks. And again, to each of you and to your families that are here that have supported you through this celebration tonight, my congratulations, and thank you for choosing Sampson Community College. We believe in lifelong learning. We think it's the cornerstone of progress in families and progress in individuals. Please let us share your future success and be a part of your lives. Again, my congratulations to you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Sampson Community College Board of Trustees, it is my great honor and joy to welcome all of you, graduates, families, friends, faculty, and staff, to this momentous occasion, our 2025 commencement ceremony. Today we come together not just to celebrate academic achievement, but to honor perseverance, growth, and the power of community. Each of our graduates has traveled a unique path to be here, many balancing work, family, and personal challenges along the way. Your dedication and resilience are a testament to the strength of the human spirit, and we are incredibly proud of each of you. Community colleges are special places. They are places of opportunity where dreams take root, second chances are embraced, and futures are shaped. Whether you're transferring to a university, starting a new career, or continuing your journey in another direction, you leave here not only with knowledge, but with courage, character, and a sense of purpose. So to our graduates, this is your day. Take pride in how far you've come, embrace the excitement of what lies ahead, and remember, you will always be a part of Sampson Community College. Congratulations, class of 2025. You've done it.
Good afternoon. It's my great pleasure and honor to introduce our distinguished guest speaker for today's commencement ceremony, a man whose leadership, service, and heart for students has left a lasting legacy in North Carolina and beyond. Dr. Bob Shackelford served as president of Randolph Community College for 15 years, leading with vision and compassion and a deep commitment to empowering others. During his presidency, he launched impactful initiatives like the Student Leadership Academy and the President's Educational Leadership Academy, programs that continue to shape future leaders today. Dr. Shackelford's career is marked not only by excellence in education, but also by faithful service to our country. He served as a military chaplain in both the North Carolina Air National Guard and the U.S. Army Reserves. In the aftermath of terrorist attack on September 11, 2001, he was called to the Pentagon to provide counseling and pastoral care to those impacted, which is a testament to his heart for service and his ability to bring comfort and hope during the darkest of times. In recognition of his contributions, Dr. Shackelford was named President of the Year for the North Carolina State Board of Community Colleges and Citizen of the Year by the Asheboro-Randolph Chamber of Commerce. Upon his retirement, he was awarded one of North Carolina's highest civilian honors, the Order of the Longleaf Pine. Today, through the Shackelford Leadership Institute, he continues to invest in others, providing leadership development for professionals, educators, faith-based groups, and community organizations. Graduates, today you will hear from a man who has lived a life of purpose, rooted in service, strengthened by his faith, and driven by a passion for helping others grow. Please join me in welcoming our 2025 commencement speaker, Dr. Bob Shackelford.
Good afternoon. It's quiet as a library in here. I wanted to see if everybody's out there. I can't see you with all the lights. Great to be with you. I appreciate the invitation, and to Blair Hare, I so appreciate the introduction. And Dr. Starling, it's wonderful to be with you again, my friend, and good to be here on your campus today. And to all of you, the trustees, faculty, staff, students, families, friends, what a great day. What a great day. And of course, I want to add to the congratulations to the graduating class of 2025. It wasn't easy, but you did it. Think about all the things you're remembering right now, the late night studying, the difficult tests, the research papers, the times when you weren't sure you could do it, the times when you were bone weary, the times when your eyelids were heavy and your brain was saturated, but you had another deadline to meet. And yet through it all, here you are, in cap and gown, ready to go. Congratulations. Now, I am thinking that none of you are sitting here today in your cap and gown with the goal of, I want to live a boring, mundane, ordinary life. I don't believe you've worked as hard as you have to get here to say where I want to go from here is, I want to live a boring, mundane, ordinary life. And because that's not your goal, and today's not your landing strip, today's your launching pad, I want to talk to you about how to live an extraordinary life. To go from here, how do you live an extraordinary life? Well, that's what I want to talk with you about a little bit, and it's very, very simple, but profound. And the three things I want to share with you, if you want to live an extraordinary life and not just let life happen to you, if you're interested in making life happen for you, the first thing starts with your mindset. It starts with dreaming big. Dreaming big. People who live ordinary lives don't have dreams, they have fantasies. Fantasies are things that aren't really going to come true. They're just things you think about or wish about and hope for, but they're not really a dream that you're going to work for and make come true. And some people have fantasies, and they're not going to live extraordinary lives. They're going to live ordinary lives with these fantasies swirling around in their heads. Dream and dream big. As a young boy, I had no hopes really of big things. I grew up very poor. My father was a boiler maker, building boilers and electric power plants, and we moved around everywhere, all over several states. Anytime his job would change, which every few months, we moved around, lived in a little trailer, because you can't buy and sell a house every 6 months, and moving around. As soon as I'd get into school and start to meet some people and make some friends or figure out what these classes are about, here'd come that truck and hook up the trailer and off we go to another place. And I remember when I was about 10 years old, I started to figure out that my life is not going in a good direction. I'm going to grow up to be a boiler maker. I'm going to move around all my life. I'm not going to make friends. I'm not going to make good grades. Woe is me. And finally, when I was about 10, I said to my mother, Mom, I need to ask you something. When I grow up, do I have to be a boiler maker? And I was afraid to ask that because I didn't want to think I disrespected my father's work. I loved and adored my father. He was my hero, but I didn't want to drag my kids around like this. And so I asked her, when I grow up, do I have to be a boiler maker? I think that's how it works. I think farmers' kids grow up to be farmers. Doctors' kids grow up to be doctors. So what am I going to do? I don't make good grades. I don't have any friends. I could hear her saying, well, son, you'll be lucky if you can get your job as a boiler maker. But I had to know because I had no hopes, no dreams. This is my life, and it's not going in a good direction. Mom, when I grew up, do I have to be a boiler maker? And at age 10, I heard these words that changed my life. Son, you can be anything in the world you want to be if you get your education and work hard. That took the scales off my eyes. It set me afire. I can have dreams. I can have hopes. You mean I can do something with my life? This is not it? She opened the doors for me, and my imagination went wild, and I started thinking about all the things I wanted to be. I remember when I went off my first year of college, a fellow named Thomas went home after the first semester. I said, Thomas, you need to get your degree if you're going to do what you want to do. He said, that's the problem. I don't want to be anything. I thought, what? Are you kidding? I want to be a teacher. I want to be an architect. I want to be a chemical engineer. I want to be a basketball coach. I want to be a YMCA director. I want to be a race car driver. I want to be an Air Force pilot. What do you mean you don't want to be anything? But my mother had lit a fire under me. Son, you can be anything in the world you want to be if you get your education and work hard. Now, some people have their dreams squashed and discouraged. I was speaking to an early college class one time, and I was telling them this story. And afterwards, one of the young ladies in the class came up to me in tears running out. She said, can I have a hug? I said, well, sure. I gave her a hug. She said, I want to thank you for what you said. I said, which part? She said, when you looked out, and it's like you looked right at me and you said, you can be anything you want to be if you get your education, work hard. I said, well, I believe that. She said, but you don't understand. My mother has told me my whole life that I will never amount to anything. Dream big. Let me look you right in the eye tonight. Let me look you right in the eye tonight and tell you, you can be anything in the world you want to be. You can go as high in your career as you want to go. I started with nothing, with no hopes, no dreams, or anything. And when my mother told me you can be anything in the world you want to be, I believed her. And I got my education, worked hard, and I've lived my dream. And I want you to do that as well. I want you to know, don't let other people define your potential. Dream big. What would you dare to dream if you knew that failure was impossible? What would you dare to dream? What is it you would love to dream, but you're afraid to because you don't think that's possible? What would you dare to dream if you knew that failure was impossible? If you want to live an extraordinary life, don't settle for the boring, mundane, ordinary. Dream big. But now she said something else. She said, if you get your education and work hard. I've noticed that most of the time, it is not the smartest and the richest and the most popular who succeed the most. It's the people who work the hardest. When I was in the 9th grade, a friend of mine, somebody I just met in school, just started high school, and he came and said, they're having basketball tryouts next Monday. Let's go out for basketball. You're tall, and I'm tall. I thought, well, I moved around all my life. I've never played sports. I'm changing schools all the time. He said, well, you're tall. They'll like you. Let's go. So I went out for the basketball team. And they said they're going to have 4 cuts, 1 a week for a month, and then that'll be their final team. Well, I thought, well, I'm tall. This will work all right. Well, I got cut in the first cut. First cut, I didn't even make it to the second cut. Now, it's not that I wanted to play basketball all that bad, but now that hurt my feelings. But that year in school, that 9th grade, after I'd been cut from the basketball team, I bought a little paperback book from the school book club, a little paperback. It was called A Sense of Where You Are by Bill Bradley, who at that time played basketball for Princeton and went on to play for the New York Knicks, became a U.S. Senator. A Sense of Where You Are. One sentence in that book had a profound impact on me. I wrote it down in my notebook. I wrote it down and taped it up over my wall where I slept. I put it in my locker at school. I took it everywhere with me. One sentence in that book, that little 75-cent paperback book, changed the course of my life. That sentence said, when I'm not practicing, someone somewhere is, and when we meet, he'll beat me. And I got to thinking about that. I thought, so that's why I didn't make the team. I went out there on the court and I hadn't been practicing. Somebody else had. What if I'm the one practicing this year? What if I come back next year and go out for the team again, and now I'm the one practicing? And I took that sentence, and I let it motivate me, and every day after my friend who said, let's go out for the team, came home from practice, I was sitting on his back step of his house, said, come out here and play basketball with me. And I practiced. That summer I went to basketball camp. That summer when I would dribble to get up every morning and dribble to the school where the outdoor courts were, and I'm dribbling, and I'd see guys riding bicycles and sitting over here at the tennis courts with the girls and out here at the swimming pool, and I'm dribbling down to the basketball courts. And I have to tell you, I would dribble and I'd look at them all riding bicycles to the pool and tennis courts, and I would, I'm going to beat you, I'm going to beat you. Because what am I doing? I'm practicing. What are you not doing? Practicing. Next fall, we're going to meet on the court again. I'm practicing while you're at the pool. And I got to tell you, I went back, I made that first cut. My life was complete. I made a cut. And then I made the second cut. And then the third cut. And finally, the last day, he said, when you get to the locker room, there are 12 names on the door. That's my team. I went bounding and running to the door. And I looked up there and I looked, and there was my name. I felt like Rocky. Ta-da-da-da. I was so excited. I am on the basketball team. And I went on and played ball all through high school, became captain of the team in senior year, got a college scholarship, played basketball in college, captain lead scorer of the college team. I was done after the 9th grade until I read that one sentence. Let me remind you of that sentence. Remember this, when you're not practicing, someone somewhere is. And when they meet you, they'll beat you. I decided that never again will I lose out on something I wanted because someone else was willing to work harder for it than I was. If you want to live an extraordinary life, dream big, but be willing to work for it. If you'll do that, you're already ahead of 90% of your competition. They're not dreaming big, and they just have fantasies that they're not willing to work for. If you have big dreams that you're willing to work for, you are on your way to an extraordinary life. And then there's one more thing. Dream big, work hard, and never give up. Never give up. I remember that little book when I was a child, The Little Engine That Could. You remember that book? The little engine could, the little train trying to get over the mountain, and it slows down and chug. And he didn't quit. He kept on and kept on, and even though he was slow, he kept on and kept. And then he got to the top and starts down the other side. I remember that little book, The Little Engine That Could, didn't give up. I had a dog named Laddie. It would have been named Lassie. I wanted to name her Lassie. It looked just like Lassie, but my mama told me that Lassie is a girl's name and this is a boy. So it was named Laddie. I wasn't happy with that. I wanted Lassie, but his name was Laddie. Well, bless his heart. When Laddie was 6 weeks old, we went around a curve, and this is back before cars as secure as they are now. You used to have to get in cars and push that handle down and lock the door. They didn't lock the door, and the door flew open, and Laddie flew out of the car, 6 weeks old, and broke his right rear leg. They put him in a cast. I'd never seen a dog in a cast before. I didn't know you could do that. But he's walking with that cast and kind of limping. And he was in it about 6 weeks. He got out of it. He's still limping, but he's learning to walk. Well, he hadn't been out of that cast for 2 weeks before we were walking across a field, and a donkey sat down on him. Sat down on him and broke the same leg. Just been out of a cast 2 weeks, he broke the same leg. Well, after that, he continued to walk, but he really had a pronounced limp now. And the doctor said he probably won't ever do anything but just drag along and just drag that leg and walk. Well, he walked, and then he learned to trot, and then he learned to run. Finally, I could ride my bicycle. He could keep up with me, and it was a funny run, but he could do it. He had determination. He would never give up. Well, after a while, he got lethargic and sick, and I wondered what was wrong with him. My dad took him to the vet, said, Mr. Shackford, we need to put him down. He has distemper. It's fatal. He's not going to survive it. He's going to starve to death. He's going to quit eating. He's going to get paralyzed. Let's put him down. My dad said, well, he hasn't quit eating yet. I'm going to take him home, and as long as he'll eat, I'm going to feed him. Well, Laddie became paralyzed. He's lying on his side on a big towel, and we would feed him out of our hands, and he'd lay there. All he could move with his head and his neck. He was paralyzed. We would feed him. He kept eating. And I kept waiting for him to die, but he kept eating. And then after a while, I could see me twitch his body a little bit. And then he twitched a little more. And he tried to move. He tried to turn over. He couldn't use his legs, but he would try to turn over. And one night, I was in my bedroom sleep, first bedroom down the hall from the living room, and all I heard that night was scratch, 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 boom. What is that? Scratch, 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 boom. What is going on in the living room? Scratch, 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 boom, all night. When I got up the next morning, I watched it, and I saw with my own eyes, Laddie would push himself over as little as he could push himself over to the edge of the couch, and he used the couch to stand. He would push himself up so he could lean against the couch, and then he would turn and try to walk. Scratch, 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 boom. He'd turn around and head for the couch again, all night long, trying to get on his feet, leaning on the couch, and then take a step or two, and boom, Laddie taught himself to walk again. He became my pet again. He became my dog again. He would run beside me when I ran. He would run beside me when I rode my bicycle. This dog, who had been sat on by a donkey, thrown out of a car, and suffered from distemper. And I would think about Laddie, that little engine who could. The one who has to go slower and slower and slower, but he keeps on and keeps on until he gets to that mountaintop, and down the other side he goes. It was Babe Ruth who said, "You just can't beat somebody who won't give up." And that was Laddie. I want that to be you. If you dream big and you work hard and you don't give up, you don't have to settle for an ordinary life. You can live an extraordinary life. Howard Schultz didn't give up. He had an idea about a little cafe. And he didn't have the money to build a little cafe. He went to the bank, asked for a business loan. "I'd like to get a loan to start a little cafe in town." They said, "Well, tell us about it." He described it to them, and they discussed it, and they turned him down. Well, there's the end of that dream. No, he went to another bank. "I'd like a loan. I want to start a little cafe." He got turned down again. Well, what do you do when you've been turned down twice? Well, Howard Schultz wouldn't give up. He went to a third bank with the same enthusiasm. "I want to start a little cafe. I think it'll work. I need a loan." They turned him down. Well, this went on. They turned him down 5 times. 10 banks turned him down. Would you keep going and knocking on doors? 15, 20 banks turned him down. 40, 50 banks turned him down. Howard, give up. It's not going to work. Nobody's going to pay you to start a cafe. 50 banks. What does it take to convince you? 60, 70. Finally, 242 banks turned him down, and he knocks on the 243rd bank. They gave him a loan. He started his little cafe, named it Starbucks. He refused to give up. Do you have that in you? If you don't have it in you, life's just going to happen to you. Take what you get. If you will dream big, you will work hard, and you will not give up, you can live an extraordinary life. I want to leave you with words I found on the wall my freshman year of college in the Student Center. I found these words. I never had to write them down. I never forget them. But I've used this as my motto throughout my life. I'm talking about when I was a freshman in college. And I want to leave this with you tonight. And you remember this and you take it with you. And I promise you, you can have an extraordinary life. I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. And what I can do and should do by the grace of God, I will do. Congratulations. Go live an extraordinary life. God bless you.
Good evening. Tonight we're here to celebrate the accomplishment of the graduating class of 2025. Today marks a high point of achievement in the life of those we are here to recognize in order to preserve the dignity of the occasion. Please silence all cell phones and electronic devices at this time. We understand that you will want to capture this special occasion with photographs of your graduate. Out of courtesy to the audience and the graduates, we must ask that guests do not block the aisles or cross in front of the stage to take pictures during the ceremony. We appreciate your cooperation. Out of each graduating class, Sampson Community College honors graduates who have made a special contribution to our college and the community. These outstanding students are nominated by program and select based on the following criteria. First, they demonstrate aptitude in general, occupation, and career course studies. Second, exhibit maturity and professionalism in on-the-job situations. And third, possess leadership ability and potential for future achievement. At this time, it is our privilege to acknowledge these exceptional individuals. As Dean and Division Chairs call your name, outstanding graduate, please move your way to the stage to receive your award.
Business and Public Service Programs, Nancy De La Cruz, Office Administration. Taylor Kelly, Accounting and Finance. Deandra Lee, Early Childhood Education. Denaya Marquez Cruz, Business Administration. William Sharp II, Human Services Technology. And Brittany Strickland Atkins, Medical Office Administration.
General Occupational Technology, Angela Corbett. Erin Illick, Building Construction Technology. Joshua Lupo, Welding Technology. Ivania Richardson, Cosmetology. Michael Pollard, Air Conditioning, Heating, and Refrigeration Technology. Davis Williams, Animal Science Technology.
Outstanding students for health science programs. Alyssa James, medical assisting. To all of our outstanding graduates, you are a wonderful example of commitment to learning and determination to succeed. We take great pride in each of you as graduates of Sampson Community College. Let's congratulate them on their achievement.
Graduates, we have arrived at the culmination of the hard work each of you have invested. Before we begin, there is one final request of the audience. To provide the level of consideration the graduates so rightly deserve, we request that the audience refrain from outbursts and applauding until the conferring of the degrees has completed. We want to ensure each graduate's name can be heard. This is out of respect for everyone who has worked so hard. Once all degrees are awarded, you will have an opportunity to applaud your graduate. Thank you for your cooperation. At this time, the administration will commence with the conferring of the Associate in Applied Science degrees and diplomas. Jewel Carr, Associate in Arts. Business and Public Service Programs, Caroline Wilson Brock, Accounting and Finance. Amy Aline Carcamo Matute, Accounting and Finance. Catherine Ann Harris, Accounting and Finance, Honors. Jadelle Holmes, Accounting and Finance. Taylor Kelly, Accounting and Finance, Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Marin Azucena Rangel, Accounting and Finance. Kylie May Rojos, Accounting and Finance, Honors. Mason Barber, Business Administration. Kelly Boyette, Business Administration. Gabriel Matthew Brown, Business Administration, Student Ambassador. Yoslin Izel Carmicamo Ortiz, Business Administration. David Gonzalez Villegas, Business Administration. Kaylee Jean Grice, Business Administration. Ainsley Madison Jackson, Business Administration. Lachey Justice, Business Administration. Harley Locklear, Business Administration. Danya Princesa Marquez Cruz, Business Administration, Honors Outstanding Graduate. Cody Lane Massey, Business Administration. Marcos Medina Martez, Business Administration. Marco Perez, Business Administration. Brittany Valdez, Business Administration, Honors. Carrie Lynn Bell, Early Childhood Education, High Honors. Jordan Page Dixon, Early Childhood Education. Michelle Edmondson, Early Childhood Education. Roxana Golzarza at Early Childhood Education, Honors. Deandra Quante Lee, Early Childhood Education, Honors Outstanding Graduate. Abby Elizabeth Mitchell, Early Childhood Education. Dahlia Aline Sanchez, Early Childhood Education. Yolanda Sandoval Martinez, Early Childhood Education. Shoni Smith, Early Childhood Education. Jolisa Terry, Early Childhood Education. Angela Winrich, Early Childhood Education. Lisa Berryhill Hewlin, Human Services Technology. Shelby Marie Faison, Human Services Technology, Honors. Karen Yvonne Jimenez Martinez, Human Services Technology, Honors. William Sharp II, Human Services Technology, High Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Ashley Alejandra, Medical Office Administration. Dorothea Lynn Ammons, Medical Office Administration. Brianna Lachelle Brunson, Medical Office Administration. Jacqueline Marino, Medical Office Administration. Brittany Denise Strickland Atkins, Medical Office Administration, High Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Nancy Arceli de la Cruz, Office Administration, Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Angel Moore, Office Administration. Applied Technology Programs. Tracy Brown Ammons, Agribusiness Technology, Applied Animal Science Technology. Maclovia Campuzano Alvarado, Agribusiness Technology, Applied Animal Science Technology. Anna Vargas Cortez, Agribusiness Technology, Applied Animal Science Technology. Lizeth Cupizano Benitez, Applied Animal Science Technology. Angel Cruz Sosa, Applied Animal Science Technology. Victor Alfredo Gutierrez Diaz, Applied Animal Science Technology. Raven Nicole Johnson, Applied Animal Science Technology. Alexa Amethyst Lewis, Applied Animal Science Technology. Esther Sevilla, Applied Animal Science Technology. Raquel Vasquez Sevilla, Applied Animal Science Technology. Davis Williams, Applied Animal Science Technology, Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Giovanni Alijo, Air Conditioned Heating and Refrigeration Technology, Honors. Reese Bass, Air Conditioned Heating and Refrigeration Technology. Donovan Benitez, Air Conditioned Heating and Refrigeration Technology. Jackson Cole Henson, Air Conditioned Heating and Refrigeration Technology. Michael Terrell Pollard, Air Conditioned Heating and Refrigeration Technology, High Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Ashley Carcamo Matute, Building Construction Technology. Joshua Herring, Building Construction Technology. Erin Marie Illick, Building Construction Technology, Honors, Outstanding Graduate. DeMarcus Wayne Kuzar, Construction Management Technology. Roscoe Isaiah Emmanuel, Construction Management Technology. Faith Lakeisha Altman, Cosmetology. Erilyn Chestnut, Cosmetology. Jasmine Gomez Hernandez, Cosmetology. Ivy Faith Reardon, Cosmetology, Honors. Ivana Christine Richardson, Cosmetology, Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Erica Serena Juarez, Cosmetology, Honors. Morgan Alexander Strickland, Cosmetology. Hannah Wagner, Cosmetology. Mary Paz Savidre, Criminal Justice Technology. Joaquin Trinidad Aguirre, Electrical Systems Technology. Aiden Garrett Balak, Electrical Systems Technology, Honors. Jose Junior Cruz, Electrical Systems Technology. Israel Ruiz, Electrical Systems Technology. Daniel Sanchez, Electrical Systems Technology. Cristina Santiago Hernandez, Electrical Systems Technology. Johan de Jesus Vega Moncada. Shannon McKinney Clark, General Occupational Technology. Angela Parker Corbett, General Occupational Technology, Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Tishona Williams, General Occupational Technology. Brittany Page Bradshaw, Information Technology, Information Systems, Honors. Latasia Latisse Crumpler, Information Technology, Systems Security, Honors. Jahir Perez Alvarado, Welding Technology. Carlos Daniel Estrada, Welding Technology. Zane Faircloth, Welding Technology. Manuel Guerrero, Welding Technology. Joshua Ethan Lupo, Welding Technology, High Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Anthony Marcia Ruiz, Welding Technology. Chase Pate, Welding Technology. Clay Dawson Pittman, Welding Technology. Christian Vasquez, Welding Technology. Lillian White, Welding Technology, Associate of Arts and Associate in Science, Honors. Health Science Programs, Austin Freeman, Emergency Medical Science, Honors. Aubrey Nicole Hardison, Emergency Medical Science. Donald Dwayne Knowles, Junior Emergency Medical Science Honors. Jasmine Parker, Emergency Medical Science Honors. Savannah Rebecca Atkins, Medical Assisting. Marlene Ortega, Medical Assisting. Nadia Escalera, Medical Assisting. Alyssa James, Medical Assisting, High Honors, Outstanding Graduate. Angelica Mejia Montalvavo, Medical Assisting. Tia Tamara Tatum, Medical Assisting. Nija McQuay Faison, Practical Nursing. Katie Brooke Avery, Associate Degree Nursing. Rebecca Nicole Bass, Associate Degree Nursing. Daisy Correa, Associate Degree Nursing. Katie Nicole Dunn, Associate Degree Nursing. Nancy Epperly, Associate Degree Nursing. Carmen Elizabeth Galisa, Associate Degree Nursing. Autumn Gilbert, Associate Degree Nursing. Maggie Elizabeth Honeycutt, Associate Degree Nursing. Jennifer Letitia Jacobs, Associate Degree Nursing. Brianna Ruth Johnson, Associate Degree Nursing. Victoria Michelle Johnson, Associate Degree Nursing. LaShondra Nicole Miller, Associate Degree Nursing. Addison Day Parker, Associate Degree Nursing. Alexis Ann Shirley, Associate Degree Nursing. Sharita Marie Stevenson, Associate Degree Nursing. Scotland Paige Westbrook, Associate Degree Nursing. Graduates, please rise. Dr. Starling, I'm honored to present the Sampson Community College graduating class of 2025.
You've been waiting for this. By the authority vested in me by the State Board of Community Colleges and the Board of Trustees of Sampson Community College, upon successful completion of the required work, you're awarded a degree for your program of study. I congratulate you on your achievement. You may now turn your tassels. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been the perfect audience, but now is the time to applaud your graduate. We could not be prouder. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the 58th annual commencement exercise for graduates of associate and applied degree programs. Please stand for the benediction and remain standing until the academic recessional has departed. Thank you and good evening.
The benediction is a blessing on your departure. Let us go to the Lord. Once again, dear Heavenly Father, we thank you that you bless those that are here. Through the trials and the tribulations that they went through, Father, you was with them all the way. Yes, their beginning was here, but now, Father, they are ready to depart and go anywhere. So, Father, as we depart and as they depart, we ask your blessings upon each and every one of them, that you be with them no matter what their trials or what their tribulations may be. Let them know that you are still there. So, Father, we just want to thank you now for all that you've done in each and every one of their lives. And, Father, we thank you for your Son that died for each and every one of our sins. Through Jesus Christ, your one and only Son. Amen.